BX Toycam, welcome back to Seed Sunday. Seed Sunday is a weekly series I run on my channel where I show you seeds Minecraft console edition that are particularly interesting and worth checking out in some way. And this week's seed is definitely both those things because I have one that's in response to a couple of requests I've been seeing a lot. So the first one is, Toycat, why don't you ever show off jungle biomes? And it's true, a lot of the seeds I've shown off since TU31 don't have jungle biomes because they got a lot rarer. So this seed has one of those, but it also has a second thing people have been asking for, which is larger biomes. They had to downsize the biomes in general to fit more biomes in the same size world as of the most recent update, and a lot of people are kind of bummed out about that. This seed has those fears put to rest because this has a lot of really big biomes. You look at the size of this plains, look at the size of that forest, but as well as that, look at the size of the jungle. It has the two things a lot of people have been asking for, jungles and large biomes, mixed together in this amazing combo. Like, generally, just look at the size of this thing, it's absolutely incredible. So I'll be showing you a bunch of cool things on this seed in today's video. Hopefully you do all enjoy it. First of all though, I'd very much appreciate a like on it if you do like it, because it helps out the channel and lets me know you do like it. I want to see more Seed Sunday. Anyway, let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start with the seed, the most important bit, because this one actually comes in from Delvin4519. Big thank you to him. This seed is actually 52968166106. So usually I'm not fond of any seed that requires me to type in a whole 11 numbers, but like I said, I think this one's worth it, because when you do type that in, you will spawn just here in a spruce tiger biome, which is nice. I mean, you get access to some spruce trees, and by the way, this seed has access to all 6 trees. I'll point them out as we go along. But yeah, you get access to some spruce trees, which is nice. Might be a favorite type of wood, but if it's not, you are this close to the jungle biome, and since that's what a lot of you are here for, that's what we should focus on first. So yeah, like I mentioned previously, this jungle biome is the biggest one I think I've ever seen, even before the update. It's just insanely sized, and for me, it's kind of funny because, back when jungles came out in TU12, I believe it was, people were always complaining like, oh, I don't like jungles anymore, because everyone was excited, then they weren't excited, and now everyone's got excited again because they're rare. And if you are excited for jungles, this is just one that is, just you look around this thing and there's just so much of it. And if that's what you want, if you want to be surrounded by trees and just not see anything else, then from the center of here, that's all you can see. And if that's what you like, you are in for a real treat. You can make a jungle tree house and see only jungles, and I think that's pretty cool. But, there's a few points of interest in the jungles besides just the size of this thing, and the first one has to be the lava pool over here. So, lava pools are really cool, surface lava that is, because they mean that you can get to the nether without requiring diamonds. You can do the whole, use water on the lava, create yourself a nether portal that way, but it's also pretty cool because lava is just a great, fuel source for furnaces. It's great for a lot of different purposes, and if you want some lava, you can get it here. The second side note, my favorite thing about when you get a lava pool inside a jungle is that it will actually burn down the forest around here. So you can do two things. You can either watch the world burn down and get a pretty cool view of a burning thing, because as this spawns up, of course it's like that, or you can just actually save the trees and make it a fun little effort. I think either one of those things is reasonably fun, and yeah, first thing you can go to is just over here at these corners. I'm going to try and display this on the map a little bit longer. That's a little bit of feedback I'm getting. So yeah, these corners just over here. Let's move on to the next thing in the jungle, because again, lots of cool things around here. Side note, as we go to this next one, the jungle is actually so big that it actually makes, because it's so tall, it means this world actually takes longer to load up. It's just that's kind of a compliment and an insult to the seed, because it'll take a little bit longer, but that's just a sign to how much it's actually generating here. So yeah, the second thing I want to show off is just over here at these corners. So again, gonna put them in the center of the screen right there. Do you see that? So yeah, minus 76, minus 108. If you dig down here, you'll find yourself a spider spawner. And I think this one's pretty cool because if you look, it's just kind of in a very broken kind of forest thing here. You can see like the lighting's, it's kind of bizarre. But yeah, if you look inside, you got yourself the horse foundation kit, as well as a bucket for the lava. But yeah, you get 5 iron, you get the saddle, you get the name tag, you get the iron horse armor, everything you need for a horse. And again, I like it that it's kind of like the horse starter kit. Plus, it's a spider thing, which is great for, string, which can be used for a whole bunch of different purposes. And if you want that, then you got it right there. So yeah, these corners right here is a spider spawner. Everyone's always having problems finding spawners after the update, and I don't blame them. For you, I've got that. So the third, fair point of interest inside the jungle is, of course, something you might figure is one of them, a jungle temple. So jungle temples are really cool. I mean, I personally prefer desert temples, but obviously because these are a lot rarer, you might want to go check one of these out. If you haven't seen a jungle temple yet, they are quite cool. They're an opportunity to get yourself 2 chests full of random loot. So the first one, as we all know, easy to get. Second one, you can activate the level puzzles, or you dig through there, and that's what I always do. I feel like I'm cheating the system a little bit, and let's be honest, I kind of am. But yeah, if you can actually, let's just break that too. You can check the chest, and in this case, we actually got diamonds. Wow, that's impressive. And we'll check the other one, just see if our luck continues here. Okay, no, we got bones. But yeah, you get the point. Chance for diamonds, chance for gold, but it's a pretty interesting chance because, it's not just like, oh, a creeper might blow it up. No creepers will blow up that loot, and that's a nice little benefit there. So that's the third point of interest right here. What else does the seed have, though? So yeah, this jungle is massive. It has a bunch of different cool things in it, such as just varying heights of trees. It has melons all over the place because that's a new TU31 feature, but that's really, I'm sure I've mentioned enough about the jungle. I've gushed about this long enough, and I'm sure if you like the jungle, you're going to check this out on your own pace and you're going to see that. So what else is there on the seed? Because I mentioned it does have other few points of interest. It does fortunately have, first of all, an amazingly sized cave system. So as well as all the biomes being pretty decently sized, like look at the size of this plains and look at the size of that savannah, as well as decently sized biomes, if you dig down to this coordinates right here, so I'll pull it a little bit lower down like that, you'll actually see a giantly sized cave. That's right, this cave just seems to go on and on above a big pit of lava, so it's dangerous, but the rewards are totally worth it, because if we go to this big main section here, you'll actually be able to find there's a bunch of diamonds around here, and okay, there we go. There's a bunch of diamonds around here, so there's 7 just over here at these coordinates, and then just over here too, there is at least 2 on the wall there. I don't want to dig it out to the video. Let's see how many we got. Wait, is it just 2? It looks like it's just 2. Okay, we got 3 diamonds. Yeah, that's better than 2. So yeah, we got 3 diamonds on the wall just over there, as well as 7 diamonds over there. That's 10 diamonds for free in this cave, and that's just what I found from a cursory glance. So yeah, as well as that, there's a bunch of lapis, bunch of gold, bunch of redstone, bunch of everything you can get just down here in this cave. So if as well as your giant-sized biomes, you want some giant-sized caves, good news, this one's got you covered, because it just goes on and on and on all the way up through their levels, because, multiple caves combined together, and that's the coolest thing for me as someone who likes exploring caves. So yeah, these coordinates of this part of the map is just right here, where you want to dig down and check out the stuff. Let's move on to the next point of interest, which is just past the savannah biome, which, by the way, in case I mentioned it, this is tree number 3. So we had jungle, we had the spruce, now we got acacia, but yeah, this is tree number 3, and once we go just past that, we've got just over here an NPC village, and the NPC village does, of course, have a blacksmith chest. On the Xbox One, at the very least, you do get like diamonds here, which, I mean, you've had enough diamonds by now already, but you do get yourself an iron sword, you get some iron armor, and you get a couple bits of iron, which is nice. I mean, this is just a tiny little village in the very corner of the map. I think it's pretty cool that you get that stuff, and yeah, if you want yourself access to some villages, you don't have to make it like you do on a lot of seeds. You do get one, and I think this is just the luckiest little find in the corner. Like, it was so close to being cut off, but it just made it, and it's like an underdog story, but kind of not at the same time. Also, there are blocks at the edge here that you can't destroy except with TNT, which if you like that, then I don't know why anyone is looking for that, but if that was you, then you're set. So next up, we have tree type number 4, just next to the village, dark oak, and that means we're only missing birch and oak, which of course spawn everywhere. In fact, even in this biome right here, you can see there's a birch tree here, and then that's an oak tree. All 6 types of trees already, and that's pretty cool right there. So yeah, in general, this seed, if you look around it, it has a lot of biome diversity, more than you might figure for having a jungle biome take up half the map, and yeah, it's actually really cool in a lot of different ways. Even if you're not looking for a jungle, I'd recommend the seed, because if we go back to the lower half of the seed, the spawn half, which, by the way, getting from one side of the jungle to the other is like a full-on voyage, and I think that's a cool idea. But yeah, once we go back to the bottom of the map, you can see it has a really nice plains to actually build on. So if you want to have this mixture of being in the absolute craziestly tall and hard to navigate biome, but also having somewhere nice to just build some stuff, because this area is really flat, then you've got that with this seed. And that's what I really like. This seed has the best of everything. It's got some large biomes. I mean, it's got some small biomes too, let's be honest. You saw the size of, the Extreme Hill earlier. The Extreme Hill soon to be super, super small, and I think that's just, a new characteristic of seeds. There's also a couple of small swamps. If you look over here, you can see the swamp's not the best of size. Is this a separate swamp to that one? I think it might be. But yeah, you can see the swamps are reasonable size, and that's just a thing. But yeah, that's a brief glimpse of everything this seed has to offer. So I hope you did all enjoy today's video. If you did like it, please do like it and let me know. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. I make videos just like this one every single day, and if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. A quick little note for next week's Seed Sunday. What do you want me to look for? I really, I'm liking the variety again, and I'm liking the feedback in the comments. I'm thinking currently mushroom biome, but is there one particular thing you're really looking for? Let me know in the comments, and again, we build a consensus kind of thing, and then that's what we work on next week. So thank you all very much for watching once again, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.